Hello, it's End Times Talk, and I wanted to come at you with a video pertaining to speaking in tongues. I feel it's rather important as believers in Jesus Christ who have been born again and baptized in the Holy Spirit that we exercise our prayer language. The Hebrews actually call tongues the language of the angels, believe it or not. There's many people in Israel, rabbis and such, that speak of this, and I find it very, very interesting. But I wanted to read some scriptures to you about speaking in tongues and point out a couple things. It says in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 2, "For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God. For no man understandeth him, howbeit in the Spirit he speaketh mysteries." So what this is saying is people who speak in unknown tongues, other people are not going to understand you, but your spirit is praying to God. See, when you're in spiritual warfare, just like when you're in physical warfare, you have to send a message to your leaders, okay? And Satan can hear what we're praying, okay? And so when we speak in mysteries, when we speak in tongues and we're speaking mysteries unto God, all right, what's happening is we are coding our language in such a way that Satan cannot understand what we're praying. It's a very special way of praying, so that way Satan cannot use it against us or hear what we're talking to God about, what our spirit is talking to God about. All right. Also, it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 27 through 28, "If any man speak in an unknown tongue, let it be by two, or at most three, and that by course, and let one interpret. But if there be no interpreter, let him keep silence in the church." All right? Remember that. "And let him speak to himself and to God." See, if we go around speaking in tongues in the church, there are new believers that are baby lambs that are drinking the scriptures that are more like milk. You see what I'm saying? They're not rams that are eating meat, okay? So we have to be careful around new believers. You don't want to scare them off. You don't want to overwhelm them. Okay, you have to be careful of these things in the church. Okay, because there are many levels of Christianity within the church. There's elders, and there's people who are unseasoned Christians. Okay, so I also want to point out in 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 27 that it says, "If any man speak in an unknown tongue." All right, so the key words are "if any man speak in an unknown tongue." It doesn't say "if any apostles speak in an unknown tongue." All right, tongues is a gift of the Holy Spirit to all believers. Okay, it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 4, that "he that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself, but he that prophesieth edifieth the church." So, when you're prophesying in church, you're gonna encourage those new believers, those people who don't understand speaking in tongues. So that's why it's something we do in private, unless there is an interpreter. You see, tongues is a very special thing. When you get in a dangerous situation, like there's times where I've been in a dangerous situation. I can recall one instance where me and my wife and my son, we were heading to church, and there was a tent meeting on top of the hill that was at our local church. And when we got there, there was a funnel cloud that started to form. It had been kind of a rainy day, and there was a funnel cloud that started to form. And everybody in that church started speaking against this funnel cloud, this tornado, that it go right back up into the sky. And so we started speaking in tongues against it, because sometimes when you're in fear mode, sometimes your spirit, it says in the Bible, your spirit will make intercession for you. Okay, so when we started praying against that, that funnel cloud went right back up into the sky. Praise be to God. But it's the fact that sometimes you don't know what to pray, and your spirit will make intercession for you. And that's when you start speaking in tongues. They've done scientific studies on people speaking in tongues where the part of your brain that's active during speech actually is inactive during tongues. Okay, so there's even scientific evidence that the Spirit is making intercession for you. So I wanted to come at you with this video, and hopefully it helps you to understand why speaking in tongues is important. And if you don't have the gift of speaking in tongues, you can ask the Lord, the Holy Spirit, to show you how to allow you and to just let it flow out of you. You don't have to focus on what you're saying. You don't have to focus on the syllables or this or that. Just let it flow out of you. And the Lord will show you how to pray in tongues with the language of the angels. So I hope this video edifies you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you. And may God bless you. And may God keep you.